Hello, we are commentating this match between AQG and terracubist, the card champ final. So they are going to be playing these games with Church and Peter. I am joined today by J Nails.
Howdy.
First game, of course, it has Church. There are a fair number of church and cemetery trashing. Oh, my
Sonic
card from
also
the tournament
trash.
here, Sinister Plot.
I don't know who chose Church and who chose Gear. I think I'm pulling for whoever chose Gear.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick check. Looks like terracubist chose church. Gucci chose gear. No, Jackdaw. Um,
Church is a high quality card, but I think I'm an even bigger fan of Gear.
yeah, I mean they're both good cards. On the board, only draw is Faithful Hound and Sana Avanto. Yeah, I
And
agree. Chameleon is
Sinister
definitely.
Plot and Watchtower can also both be draw in the right situations. Technically Patrician, I suppose, as well.
Oh, true. Yeah, they can. But like they're not. Yeah, I mean there's lots of some draw, but I feel like there are only two cards that are just that I would consider like good and consistent draw. Like Sinister Plot is a good draw, but isn't. Um,
My guess is we won't see Avanto uncovered just because taking a bunch of saunas seems like an inconvenience.
I
Uh,
agree.
a lot of Faithful Hounds would be nice.
Yeah, I think Faithful Hounds is definitely good, especially like if you can get Champion down. Faithful Hound is excellent.
So as far as the opening goes, Terracubus is the 4-3. I was thinking about Sinister Plot and Church as an opening there.
Yeah, I think I
Um,
agree with that. Um,
and you can buy the Peasant turn 3 and then trigger a shuffle turn 4 with Sinister Plot. I think that works out pretty well in most cases.
I agree. And Page Church also works, but I think I'd rather get down Sinister Plot early.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like if although it wasn't the 3/4 is not quite as powerful as 4/3, which I believe is what they had, though I could be. Nope, they
Yeah,
had
on 3
4/3.
4, I think Church Page would be pretty reasonable.
Oh no, they
Um,
had 4/3. So yeah,
they had the 4
I
3
I would definitely go for Sinister Plot Church there.
Akachi opening festival is kind of interesting. Uh, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a bit counterintuitive.
I don't like it. I might consider Sinister Plot Page or Church.
Yeah. My guess is the idea is to get early plus buy and then take a majority of these cheap cards. Maybe he wants to win the Faithful Hound split or something.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I can definitely see that. Also, it works as a village in the interim before you can get your champion down. So, I mean, it's not a bad opening. I just think there are better options.
yeah.
This is another five. I think it's. I think this is probably like either Sinister Plot or Double Faithful Hound, probably.
I could take a Church as well, like Church Faithful Hound or something.
Yeah, I mean, do you really need a second church? I mean, it doesn't hurt, I guess.
I feel like 2 is usually a pretty good number.
I mean, a second church, yeah, I think it's fine. Don't know how many pages you actually need. I don't really want churches that badly because not searching pages because of Treasure Hunter. But that's really the only reason I or pages.
My guess is you take a second page at some point, just because it looks like the only quick way to add payload to your deck is the silvers from Treasure Hunter and then later golds from Hero. Uh, so I think that like you don't want one early when it's going to impede your ability to get the first page up to champion, but I could see adding one a little bit later and advancing up the line.
Yeah, but you certainly don't want it turn 4, which is what Aku did.
You can always, I mean, like you could take it turn 4 and then just not advance it early if you want to. Like leave it on page for a bit.
True, but I think there are other cards that would be better. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. So you turned it into a treasure hunter.
Yeah, he did take an early treasure hunter here, which feels wrong to me.
Yeah, and then there are no faithful hounds bought. That doesn't, don't quite understand that. I'd expect more of them to be gone by now.
I wasn't thinking draw to X. I was thinking just standard draw.
Yeah, I mean, the draw to X, like, it doesn't seem that bad, but I think there's better draw. Draw to X is more fun than anything else.
I don't think Watchtower is a bad addition to the deck or anything. You know, if you find it in the starting hand, it can draw a bunch, and even if you're not playing it for draw, the top decking effect can be worthwhile. But I don't think I'd want Watchtower to be my primary draw long term.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not your engine. Navigator payload. Yeah, I think hero payload is more viable.
I mean, Navigator is basically 4 draw if it flips 5 Faithful Hounds.
It is. Yeah, that is true. Oh, right. I always get Navigator mixed up with, can't even remember the card name, that one that gives like silvers and golds depending on if you province. So yeah.
Explorer.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was looking. Ah,
I don't believe you, DZ. That doesn't sound like an opinion DZ would hold.
I think a ghost. Really valuable to draw your deck eventually, so I'm tempted to say no. But maybe you.
I would take it here as Akuchi, I think. Um, Actually, I'm not sure. Um, so on the one hand, I mean, you don't necessarily want to play the treasure hunter right now, so to trash the haunted mirror and just discard it for free. On the other hand, you're about to trigger a shuffle with this warrior, and trashing haunted mirror now puts 2 more stop cards into that shuffle. I think I would take it, but it's not totally obvious
Yeah.
that it's better than just trashing the estate.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess now you do it. I mean, later in the game, like I wouldn't go out of my way to trash it like I would on some boards, but I think it's not out of the way in this case. So probably.
TRQ is just thinking for a while here. Not sure about what.
Yeah. Not quite sure about this. I think terracubist church probably not. Oh right, you don't even have enough actions to play the festival. So I don't know if you get like just
What else is in their deck? All right, they're going for the page now. That makes sense. They're about to get champion pretty soon.
I think Page is fine. Terracubist already has the deck on.
Okay, so Akichi does opt to trash the estate and not take the ghost. I think that's reasonable.
I feel like really, I mean, like it's not like as out of the way as like it would be if you had to like buy a cemetery, but it's. I mean, you have to be willing to not trash an estate and sacrifice a bit of paper.
Wait, actually, maybe I'm gonna renege on my assertion that that was reasonable. I just noticed he did uh draw here and then trigger a shuffle with Sinister Plot. And I think if you're gonna do that anyway, I think it actually does look pretty good to trash the Hanamir now and take a ghost. Because my main reason for wanting to trash a state there was you avoid putting two more stop cards into the shuffle, the ghost and the treasure hunter. But if you've triggered the shuffle, then you're not actually putting any stop cards into the shuffle when you take ghost.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, maybe. You just nice to get the estate out of your deck, but that could be done.
What are the last two cards? Oh, if only I knew.
I don't. I just hard enough to keep track of the decks of both players, so it's
I'm gonna guess two coppers. I don't think
yeah.
Akuchi has trashed any coppers.
That seems like a reasonable guess.
So I feel like almost certainly you're setting aside three cards here, which will leave you with 8 money. It's not a bad number. And
Yeah,
that probably means
that's
you're about to want more plus buy soon. So maybe buy Faithful Hound Festival or Watchtower Festival. I think might also be fine for Akuchi.
yeah. Either seems fine. I'm leaning towards the faithful hound.
Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe Cemetery is really good right now. So what if you don't play your church, you just play the Faithful Hound, and then you buy a cemetery, you trash the Hanamir, then and discard the church, and then you probably like I don't know 2 money left over. Maybe you can buy Faithful Hound as well.
Or yeah, I mean yeah, when you're getting cemetery like that, I would have just gotten rid of the haunted mirror and taken. You're already doing.
Contraband looks pretty reasonable here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I assume that's what he's
Be
deliberating
nice
about.
to. I might opt to get a gold, because I don't know if I want a contraband in my deck. Get a gold and then buy like festival. Is festival
Yeah,
faithful
Contraband
hound?
doesn't seem so bad to me long term. So I assume the thing they would name is Faithful Hound, which is something of an impediment. But then you've got more plus buy. Maybe you can take a bunch of the patricians, and then towards the end of the game, they can't name dominate, and so it doesn't have that normal problem Contraband would usually have, where there's name province and you can't play it if you want a green. Because if you're just playing buying dominate each turn, then the Contraband is just as good as a gold.
Oh yeah, I forgot about dominate. So yeah, then contraband does probably. Represent.
Terracubist, meanwhile, has chickened out and taken the gold.
I mean, it's probably possible that they also didn't about the dominate thing.
Uh, So I assume we're buying Festival now because we didn't take plus. I mean, might have bought Festival either way, but certainly if you're not taking Contraband off your hero, I would think you want another plus buy card in your deck. So maybe Festival
Yeah,
Hound here.
yeah, I'd definitely go Festival Faithful. Or you
Mm,
can just, I didn't like that
Cash
cemetery
one.
there. You want more buys. Yeah, I don't think it's
I'll
really
keep.
a choice about what you play. I think it's just a hero. And then once you, I think this is where I would go for Ghost actually. Play your silver and then get rid of two coppers, and the cemetery, and then discard your Faithful Hound.
I think that sounds pretty good. It lets you top deck the Faithful Hound for next turn.
Yeah. I'm kind of
I do like the
surprised.
suggestion in the chat of playing the hero before the warrior to potentially trash one of terracubist's cards.
Yeah, I think that would have been fine.
Yeah, thinning is good.
The real question is, do you want both of those silvers? Probably. And you do have draw. So.
I'm gonna say probably so. I mean, it's not obvious, but uh, terracubist is very thin at the moment.
Yeah, but terracubist also needs more buys. Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
it's crazy to get a double festival here.
Uh, yeah, that would actually break the rules because you only have 9 money.
Oh, yeah, I must have miscounted. That was on me. So then, yeah, I would get, um,
Would want to get disqualified.
yeah, no, well, if you can't. That suggestion came from counting. I'd go for Festival Hound.
The problem with St. Carlso's suggestion is that terracubist has already advanced to second page. A second watchtower, I don't know about. Feels like maybe terracubist is doing some draw to Xe stuff after all. And
Yeah, that's, I don't see any other reasoning behind that second watchtower. I think you just go for a Faithful Hound there. But also have allowed you to set aside more money. Um,
yes, I think I would trash the mirror here. And might just trash the silvers off this treasure hunt rather than keeping them.
yeah, I agree with that. I'd say trash this.
Yeah. The main reason is down in that discard, or you could just be a lucker. Down in the discard, you've got a festival and a ghost, and I would think you really want to find both of them. And that watchtower is only going to draw exactly 2 cards. Um, and so if you trash the silver, you guarantee you you find both the festival and the ghost. Terracubus gains the silver and just draws both of them anyway out of sheer luck.
Yeah, I think you should have trashed this for sure.
Yeah, keeping the treasure hunter is weird. I think you just want to advance it up to hero for payload. You don't need a million silvers.
Yeah, you don't want to keep the silvers when you're on with Watchtower. I think so a faithful hound there. Or Ghost hits the festival, which I might just not set aside and then trash the haunted mirror into copper.
You
And
could
then
also
take
just set aside Haunted Mirror, Copper, Faithful Hound, and do that trashing at the start of next turn.
yeah, that would also work. Yeah, maybe it's not worth it to.
I would expect terracubist to take a lot of the Faithful Hounds here, perhaps all of them.
Yeah, I think taking them all seems. I'd set aside the silver and the faithful hound of church here, and then you can just draw a new silver.
I think perhaps just set aside the Faithful Hound. Maybe it depends what you're buying, but you don't necessarily want to get your payload caught up on the church.
You can definitely
Uh,
set aside the cemetery here, and then first, what is that last card?
is it a
I want to
Faithful
say.
Hound?
I wanted to say silver. Yeah, if it's a faithful hound, you probably are.
No, I think terracubist might only have one of the Faithful Hounds. Let's check.
Yeah, maybe they had two. So that's
Yeah, they only have the one, so it's not a Faithful Hound. Could be a festival.
yeah. If it's a festival, I want to play it. Yeah, once it's not a faithful hound, I think you probably want to get it, and that's easy to do. And
Yeah, I
regardless,
believe
I
it's a
want to set
festival.
aside the cemetery.
Yes, I think you're drawing the festival.
Yeah, I'm sure this is a debate about if you're setting aside the watchtower. Yep, festival.
So 4
So
dogs.
an empty faithful hounds and get two festivals. Or I'd like to, or maybe just empty the festivals and get two faithful hounds.
I'm
Um,
glad you asked, Saltrosa, because I don't know either, but hopefully
oh
it'll help some.
yeah, so what happens is the first game has terracubist's card, which is church, and then the next game will have Ikuchi's card, which is gear, and then it's first to 2.5, and the rest of the games will all have both cards forced. We could see anywhere between 1 and 3 games both.
Is it first one to 3 wins?
It's I think it's first to 2.5 because my goal was to get it like my goal is to get it to like a good number of games with both cards. Check. Um, yeah. It's first to 2.5 win. If game 5 is a tie, player 2 will win. Player 1 alternates. No. So we actually considered always being player 1 with your card, but what we decided on is in each match either both players are player one with their card or both players are player two with their card, but it's random which one it is to avoid so that players don't pick a card with a lot of FPA or pick a card with SPA.
It is odd to me that terracubist did not advance the warrior. Again, I was thinking the main reason you got a second page was to get a hero for payload, but apparently we want the
Yeah,
warrior for draw.
I mean, you need the draw, but yeah, I mean, you just took a bunch of faithful hounds. You can afford to take a hero. Like if you're not going to advance the hero, I'd want to be at festivals instead of faithful hounds. So I'm assuming that this last festival will go to Ikuchi.
That might open up a pile out. Let's see. The terracubist had 4 festivals, is that right? And then now they're up to 6. Maybe it doesn't open up a pile out. Do they have? Oh, hmm. Cemeteries are at 5. Do they have 20 money? I think if you take the festival, it's a real concern that they empty cemeteries.
Ooh, yeah, I didn't think of that. So yeah, that's a good point because Terracubus might actually have that. With Dominate, it's need a lot more money to win.
So they took a navigator. I was thinking patricians, which will be laboratories pretty often in these decks at this point. And you could add a navigator after you add some patricians, maybe line up your patricians.
Yeah, I just don't know how much game is left here.
All right, is
Let's
this a
see.
win? No, it is not.
No, yeah, you don't have enough. So I guess
Yeah, it'd be
it's.
decently far from it. Beating 15 points is a bit difficult.
So I guess this is Dominate Duchy. Um,
So for sure, dominate. You want to stay up on the points. I would not buy Duchy because then your ghost whiffs. You got to take some action or other.
ooh, good point. So yeah, Dominate Festival. Yeah, Dominate Duchy Patrician because I just want some, or even Dominate Festival Estate would be reasonable.
How does hero in here, Jackdaw?
The other thing that I realized is that um, Triple Province is more points than uh, domin- Dominate, although equal in points to Dominate Duchy. So you have to decide if you want to lower provinces. Probably don't.
Ooh, do want to lower festivals, it seems. So Akuchi only has 4 buys. Is that right? So they actually can't do anything about this.
Yeah, yeah. So then it makes sense to lower pile.
Lowering curses seems like a good call. You've got a whole lot more buys than your opponent does, so you're the only one in a position to realistically take advantage of that.
Yeah, that
I was thinking that we wanted to top deck the patrician.
yeah, I would
Seemed like
have
a better target
taken.
for ghost to me.
I actually think Festival might be a better card to Ghost, but I would take the Patrician before taking the Festival, so the Festival still ends up on top.
Yeah, so certainly, even if you don't want to ghost the patrician, then it still feels like a weird order because, like you said, they could have top decked the patrician and then just uh, they didn't. So this is a little bit of a pain. You could discard and get that Faithful Hound set aside, but you're looking at most of your good cards right there. I think Akuchi is just kind of dead.
Yeah, I feel like terracubist has basically one. Yeah, I mean that's fair, Jackdaw. Yeah, it makes sense to be a bit worried about the dud.
Well, see, if you ghost a patrician, then exchanging your warrior for a hero means that your patrician can now draw it, whereas it can't draw a warrior.
Oh, that is a good. Yeah, so maybe Christian would have been a good ghost target. Um, I mean, terracubist is only one if they don't. I'm
Well, I
assuming
mean,
they.
like if they
But
wanted to go for the win this turn, which they probably will, they can just pop the sinister plot. If they don't do that, I mean, they'll still be in a winning position next turn. Um,
oh yes, and I yeah oh yeah, terracubist has a lot on sinister plot. I think you could push for a win here.
Maybe the play here is just to discard twice with the navigator. That top decks your hound for next turn, and then you're still looking at least 3 of the 4 um, out of Hero Festival, Gold, and Festival being top decked.
Uh,
I don't think anybody's gonna matter though. I don't think the opening worked out for Akuchi, and maybe it's that festival buy.
yeah, I mean, kind of got unlucky with the 5-2. Yeah, that is the other thing. Like even with the 5-2, you could have made more out of it. Um, so dominate province. Um, I mean that still leaves the dominate century pile out for Cherokee
Uh,
like cemetery.
all right. So
No,
looks like
that's not enough
what we
money
got
for.
here. This just wins on provinces.
Yeah,
Oh
but
no, we're too
oh
short.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, you can double
okay,
dominate here. You can, yeah, you can win on the curse or province.
Yeah, that works. There we go.
Yep, that's a win for two. You're in it. It's another faithful hound game. Um,
Akuchi likes getting the questionable 5-2s.
yeah, certainly. Um, yeah, I mean the 5-2 is tricky here, especially like with stockpile around. Like for terracubist, I'd say it's like an easy stockpile something, but like, I mean, you might delay tactic is. I mean,
So
I
let's
guess
think about this. Suppose you delay 2 tacticians and then play a gear, not a gear, a caravan. You uh,
oh
activate the one tactician first and discard your whole hand. Then draw with caravan. Then activate the second delayed tactician, discard the one card again. Then you draw 10 cards from the 2 tacticians you delayed the previous turn. And it'd be fancy if nothing else.
yeah, that's actually that's that's a pretty clever idea. Yeah, I mean, I
You could even delay 2 horse traders and play them before the first tactician.
yeah, I mean, it does need two caravans and four technicians, but yeah. Um, I mean, is the tactician opening crazy? Probably.
Opening tactician.
Yeah, you probably don't get it as soon as the opening. But yeah, I might actually. That's pretty smart to go for that.
I think as Akuchi, I would open just Faithful Hound stockpile. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think. Yeah, I do think you want to stockpile. I wasn't fully serious about the tactician opening it to him. Yeah, you can just get keep 10 card hands coming. If you have four tactician caravan. I mean, it's not gonna be that hard to get. And I mean, as terracubist, you can open stockpile caravan.
Yeah. So on the one hand, 10 card hands is what you get with just a normal double tack deck. But the delay version lets you play with your treasures as well, which is kind of nifty. Because you're not playing the tactician at the end of the action phase.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get six tacticians, you could have 15 card hands, which is just crazy.
Yeah, so you got to win the tax split. Seems like the important goal here.
Yeah, I've literally never seen a game where you want to win the tactician split, yet here we are. Now, though, Shanahan does have a point about time. So maybe you just go with four tacticians.
Terracubist is thinking hard about whether to open gear stockpile or stockpile gear. There's some subtle nuances between those two.
Yeah. I mean, I might consider stockpile caravan, but probably go with gear.
I guess you can't play with your opponent's card. That would just be rude.
Yeah.
Legionary. That's a card.
It is a card. Um, yeah, so it looks like Ikuchi is going for the native village cleaning. I mean, I don't think you use native village as a village here.
Yeah, I don't endorse these Akuchi buys. Uh,
I mean, if you draw a deck and then play horse traders, you have native. You can make it so it's one of two cards that native village sets aside.
I do enjoy native village thinning. I think probably the combination of gear and hostelry, at least for a while, is going to be enough. Thinning, where gear keeps your estates out of play, and then hostelry functionally neutralizes all the coppers. That's probably what I'd be going for. See, the problem is if I were playing by the you got to spend all your coins rule, that still makes Legionary look kind of bad because it's going to give you a bunch of coins and you're going to be forced to buy a bunch more expensive cards than you don't want to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um,
Um, yeah. So the gears are going. So are the stockpiles are always good. And if you can get draw going and just play stockpiles, like you can get a fair amount of horses from the stockpiles.
yeah, Terracubist's position already looks much better.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna be honest, this alt that y'all are discussing of like always spend all your money, it sounds harder than just the double curse open alt. You're gonna be buying golden province an awful lot.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The native village thinning is good. Yeah, I'm big money alt. I like it. Yeah, maybe you need to get a big money alt where you can just keep buying golds.
Yeah, Akuchi has thinned a lot of the pesky actions from their deck, which helps them find their coppers more often for payload. I think it's worse than Zero Mu. Zero Mu is like 40-ish, and I'm pretty sure BMU is like low 30s, maybe high 20s.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on like what you're playing. Like, if you're playing like some really crappy players, like you can beat them with big money and not insignificant amount of time. I mean, some of them will just play big money.
When you say it Halo Ender, you mean like pure BMU? I don't think BMU is going to beat level 40 all too often. Oh, well, if
Ooh,
we're referring to the spend all
spend
your
all
coins,
coins. That's
yeah.
probably even more common at the bottom of the ladder than um, big money. Spend all coins and just get a bunch, or even better, you can.
I mean, I think there'll be kingdoms where the spend all coins thing is like functionally no different. Like you like actually both of the cards I chose for this one, Church and Gear, where you can modulate how many coins you have in hand, might help you hit the price points you want. But there are also gonna be kingdoms where you don't have that degree of flexibility, and it's just like forcing you to buy golds and stuff. But what about coffers? Do you have to spend all your coffers each turn too?
You have to spend all your buys, even if that means buying a bunch of coppers.
Oh man, that would be painful. All right. Uh, this set of buys looks good to me for Akuchi.
Yeah, I agree. We were so focused on this alt that we missed a lot of the game. Um,
I don't know what the plan was with the Legionary. Um, yeah, I don't think the attack hurts that much. Terracubist had functional 5-2 last game. I don't know. They had 4-3. I mean, they did. I don't know that that was the optimal opening, but they did in fact go from with a 3 and a 2.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't think it was a great opening, but it's working out. I mean, I actually want a gold for the Legion, just to make some use out of it, though maybe it's not worth it.
I am sure Akuchi will get a gold at some point, but it's often hard to justify passing up on like stockpile or hostelry to buy gold, and so it makes sense that it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that seems cool.
I'm also a little surprised that only 5 gears are gone. Gear seems really good here to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think you want more gears. I suspect that this game will end on the stockpile, hostelry, and gear piles. So maybe not the gear piles, if they're not gonna buy gears. But it's not. There's still some game left.
Yeah, maybe that all have to ban all the good $2 cards. Like you can't open Page or Peasant if you gotta spend all your money unless you get 5-2.
Yeah, for sure.
No way. That's against the rules. Can't buy a $2 card with 3.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, have the client to do that, or like bribe staff. Um,
So terracubist still with too few gears, I would say. Um, hmm. It looks really appealing to take these last 2 stockpiles. You deny them from your opponent who already has one trapped in their exile mat. The downside, of course, is if you're taking both stockpiles, you're not getting a hostelry buy. But I think it's worth it anyway.
yeah, I agree. It's probably worth it. Yeah, I mean, the players need to think about winning. I worry a bit about a pile out happening. And maybe they don't have enough buys yet. Um,
I mean, pilouts will be a thing soon, but I don't think Akuchi can pile this turn. This isn't the place where I would be thinking. I mean, like it seems clearly you're setting aside 2 estates.
yeah, for sure. Um,
What is the last card? Uh, hmm, Native Village, perhaps?
I think Village would be fine.
Yeah, I think it's Native Village on the bottom. Um,
Yeah. I would have just played it and gotten rid of it. Yeah, like I think you're at the point where you don't need 2 native villages in your deck. Maybe I'm wrong about that though.
ooh,
Yeah, Alliance seems good.
not sure. I mean, you got the gold in your deck, but you're now down to 1 buy. Because there's no more stockpiles. Oh, they didn't use all their stock. They set one
Yeah, you
aside.
set one. Yeah,
That's also
so
kind of weird to me. Why didn't we play it and buy a horse traders?
yeah, you have a stockpile. So, um, Yeah, I mean, at this point, buys are going to be tricky. Yeah, you kind of need to get horse traders. Especially now you have like some green that you're willing to discard. I don't see a way not to get horse traders. I mean,
I got you, DZ.
yeah, easy. That might be a bit easier to do in Discord instead of in the client, but I guess Jackdaw did a pretty good job of it.
Glad I could help.
Oh, I don't think AQG white there when it comes to piling.
Well, there are 3 buys short.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think you kind of have to go for like double horse traders just to get them. I don't like gearing away the stockpile really.
Yeah, I don't understand this like hang on to stockpile thing. Just replace it with a plus buy card you can play every turn.
So don't think you play the native village here.
Um, I huh, I would play it. I think. I don't think terracubist is going for the native village thinning thingy. Um, but this, this is. I guess you could delay it. I'm not sure if that's any better, but it might be.
I mean, I
Um,
don't think you want to spend a buy on delaying it.
my
Especially,
guess is I, mean, they got hospital. I was thinking that they had looked at their deck and they were saying, "Oh, I've seen all my villages. I got some terminals coming up. I need to delay this to avoid a dud." But they do have another village down there.
yeah.
Also, I think the lack of gears is definitely hurting there. Like terracubist had all 3 estates in hand and didn't get to set aside any. Um, even though they're going to trigger shuffle this turn, hurts a lot. Like I think you can safely lower gears. Your opponent does not have buys. They have this one stockpile that they've been refusing to play for a while. Um, Whoa, it's blue.
Oh yeah. I
I
didn't
thought I
realize you could.
on accident. I'm trying to click off to get rid of the
Yeah, I didn't
highlighting.
think the client would actually display like emojis. I guess I'm wrong.
I do believe it does.
Yeah, well, it's a nice surprise.
I think I don't. Maybe I should have paid more attention. I feel like something's gone wrong somewhere with terracubist deck. They're not drawing reliably at all. I don't know why. I got a
You,
hypothesis that it might be lack of draw.
yeah, I agree with this, and I think now Akuchi, like if Terracubist can have to risk like distant lands because I'm just not sure what other option they have. Like pretty sure. I don't know. Akuchi doesn't have a pile left, but I mean, I guess I was wrong about the pile, so I guess maybe it will end on provinces after all. Um,
Yeah. Um, Terracubist position actually looks pretty bad now.
yeah, I have to agree with that. Like, yeah, now on AQG turn, they just need to hit a single province, and I have no doubt that AQ will be able to do that.
Well, they won't do it this turn, but the Terracubist has to get 4 duchies and an alliance to catch up in time, which probably
Yeah,
won't happen.
I mean, the question is, what do you? I don't think Terracubus needed to take that duchy. Not that I think it'll really matter much, I guess.
So if you don't hit 8, which they're not, I think I would just set aside the gear and the or not gear, the legionary and the copper here, and then delay the hostelry.
I agree with that. I'll see. Like, I guess Akuchi's deck is falling apart, but I think Akuchi just has so much of a lead that it won't matter.
Yeah. Um, they should hit province here, I would think. Um, just need to find 2 more money.
Yep,
Oh, there it
that's
is.
a win.
Yeah, they would look really behind early on, but Syracuse Tech never came together.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is just Terracubist's deck kind of fell apart. But yeah, I mean, it's 1-1 now.
Each winning with their respective cards.
Yep, both won with their cards. Um, and I guess they've both been practicing with their cards. And I'm sure they have been because they've been playing the tournament with them.
So what are we doing here? Uh, I think mostly the cards I want are Gear and Bandit Camp with Pawn for plus buy. I don't think Apothecary's worth it.
Um, yeah, I agree. I think you just go with. Thank you. I mean, you need church. I might kind of have to play with gear because I don't know if you want to go down to Avantos because it's a single buy. Maybe you go for upgrade, but probably not. Just which
Oh,
means
so
you.
Pawn does get plus buy, but I wouldn't go for Son Avento here.
Oh, right, I forgot about pawn. So yeah, you want a pawn. I think if you're so that means that your draw is gonna come from Gear Bandit Camp. Means I mean I don't know if you want to let your oh yeah, that's exactly what it is, Jackdaw. Um,
Apothecary is also a drop.
yes, it is also draw, but I don't know if you go for it. I think you open Church Gear, um, open the champions.
I have no idea what it open here. Um, I'm pretty sure it involves a bunch of the orange cards, but I don't know. Double Church, Church Gear. Actually, it's probably one of those two. Um, not sure which. How do you figure psychomatic? I mean, over the long term, you're adding a stop card each time of spoils, which you have to play. Like if you
Yes,
play Bandit Camp Gear repeatedly and never set anything aside, it's basically like a cantrip plus 3 coins.
a cantrip plus 3 coins is good.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think it's a thing to do. I want a lot of Bandit Camps and Gears. Just whether it's like technically draw, is unclear.
Yeah, I see how it's not technically draw, but I think it's still what you want to do, regardless of what it is. And I guess, yeah, I mean, it probably is draw adding it. I mean, draw can still add cards to your deck. But yeah, I think you take up on, I mean, don't, sure you can get up to a consistent single. The question is, can you consistently double? Maybe. Um, probably. I don't know if you build up to doubling.
A bit better than what?
That is true. Um, Festival is draw with Wave the Chameleon, but Festival does, like, unlike the cantrip of Bandit Can't Gear, it does it does decrease. Like Festival still decreases your hand size, but of course with Way of the Chameleon, Festival is obviously draw. That or Shanahan has a point. Festival is a cantrip that draws a silver to immediately play, and it gives you a buy as a bonus, and it acts as a village as a bonus.
I couldn't tell you what's happened this game. Let's see. So
Yeah, we're so
Terracubist opened
focused
double
on
church
what.
and Akiuchi opened double gear. I find that humorous. Between the two of those, I like Terracubist's opening better, I think. I think I want at least one church.
I think it's a church year opening. Yeah. And then I think later you might get a second church. But I also think you have gear, so I could go without a second church.
They both had awful turn 3 draws. And whoa, Akuchi got a sauna.
Yeah. Um,
Two? Two saunas. Interesting.
yeah, I don't like the saunas. Want more gears and more bandit camps, and then I'd say like one, maybe two pawns. Once you have the deck. Yeah, I think you can get one pawn early, and then maybe you get a second one. Maybe you don't. I don't know. It depends on like. I'd say you get your second pawn if you dud.
So Terracubist is very thin. Akuchi is not. This might have something to do with it. Terracubist opening 2 trashers and Akuchi opening 0. We really like our saunas. Well, we're definitely doing half of that. Remains to be seen whether Akuchi will want Avanto as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Um,
Yeah, Avanto Bridge Troll is a net draw. Because Bridge Troll's only -1 and Avanto is +2.
yeah, I don't like Son of Ronto at all these days.
Now, if Bandit Camp Gear is a draw, Recruiter is a draw. Because it increases your hand size, and then, yeah, your hand size gets reduced again later. But as long as there was a temporary increase in hand size, that's sufficient. Yeah, Warehouse is
Recruiters,
great. It's like a double laboratory. Yeah, Donate's definitely draw. So as Terracubist, I think I would want to green on the relatively early side. Your opponent's deck's going to take a while to get up and running, but they've got like bona fide draw, so it'll do things eventually. So I think I'd win soon. Not this turn, probably not even next turn, but maybe like turn 10. maybe start taking province. Your deck's gonna
Yeah.
be pretty resilient to greening with both church and gear to set aside the green cards.
Yeah, I mean, I want a few more bandit camp gear pairs, but yeah, I think getting gear here, I think next turn you'll have enough payload for another bandit camp double gear, so you got some overdraw, and then I think at that point you can green. So terracubist is about to have a dud. So maybe that delays it a turn. I think really, if terracubist didn't dud, I'd say consider double bandit camp next turn, but not if you dud. Guess you can trip the pawn and hope for a 1 in 7 chance of a bandit camp. Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
What are the other necessary conditions, Jackdaw?
So is Akuchi interesting. So get Sana. Don't on that. Yes, sure.
Yeah, I think maybe amend the must come from deck to must come from like deck or discard. Like I wouldn't call Mountain Village a stop card because it doesn't draw any cards from your deck. Yeah. Um, so I was saying this was the turn I expected terracubist to green, but maybe it's one more turn.
Yeah, I think
That
one more
dud
turn.
probably cost a turn.
One more turn definitely seems reasonable. So the question is, what do you do this turn? So I think I want think I would have taken an action here instead of the draw. No, not draw, because just so that you can play the gear, although all that's in your discard is spoils, then you have more payload to build off of this turn. Oh, I see you don't have any actions there, so you don't actually need to. Never mind. Yeah, I do like taking the Avanto. It's nice draw. Um,
I will find it funny if Akuchi took all the saunas just to lose the Avento split.
yeah, that would really suck for Akuchi. Um,
State is not thinning your deck.
I mean, if you do it twice, because then you're trashing the
Yeah.
curse the second time it's thinning, but yes, so kind of. But like, if you're just if you don't plan to ever trash the curse, it's not thinning. Yeah, you definitely take the bandit camp. You've been a copper with the upgrade, probably. Um, so maybe it's not worth it.
Now here's a weird one. So Sentry's not draw, and Bandit Camp Moat is not draw. But you put them together, Bandit Camp Moat Sentry is draw.
I'd consider bandit camp moat draw, just like how bandit camp gear is draw.
You mean just like how it's not draw?
I consider it draw, but I guess we have different opinions on that one. But yeah, bandit camp moat sentry is definitely draw. Yeah, I agree. I was not expecting it to go so off topic.
So how did the Avento split break down?
I think
Uh,
terracubist won it. He did
I
too.
think is that right?
I think so, though I could be wrong. Yeah, yeah. Jackdaw agrees
You
with
sure?
me.
Oh, yep, sure enough.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Aiku has all of the saunas, but not enough Avantos to support that. So they seem to have crashed a couple saunas. Um, Probably because of the Avanto split loss.
So what do we do now? Is Akuchi.
Um, no, probably, and it's definitely a bit early in the game to green.
I don't think I agree with that, Shanahan. Not by any other definition. For example, it's only draw if it causes the game to be tied.
What is draw and game result have direct? I don't see the direct connection.
Well, so if I bought Gears and Bandit Camps and I won and you lost, would you say it was a draw?
Oh, um, I see. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't say the game was a draw, but I would consider, but like I would consider like the deck to be draw.
I'm not sure if I would call the picture something drawn. It's constructed in MS Paint. Is that drawing? I think no.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe if I'd used the the pencil tool, whatever that one is, and hand moved the cursor in the shape of a square, then maybe I'd call it draw. But I think I wouldn't call it draw from the using the predetermined shapes.
yeah, for sure. Um, oh, back to the game. Gucci has started greening, probably followed by terracubist.
Yeah, so what do we do with terracubist? Psychomatic is, I don't know if that was a suggestion or an observation, but noted that terracubist can double here if they want to, the cost of an Avento. Um, 9, 11, 13 money. Hmm.
If you take the buy and the coin,
Wait, they can
or
double
church,
without trashing the Avento, right? If they
yeah,
just
I'd
keep one of
church
these?
away the Avanto and then sheep the upgrade. Um, upgrade the church into a potion. Not sure you
Never too
want
late to start on Apothecary.
on that plan. I
It's
don't
actually funny how relevant Apothecary is to this kingdom because it gives your upgrade something to do, whereas otherwise that bridge from 3 costs to 5 costs would be insurmountable without potion in the kingdom.
know. I think what you do with the potion is you upgrade it to bandit camp. That's really the only logical thing I can see to do with potion.
You could upgrade it to cash,
You could. I like
and then you get
bandit
another
camp
potion,
more.
and you buy an Apothecary, which then draws the coppers you gained off the cash.
If you upgrade the cash, then how do you get the apothecary without another potion? You'd
Oh,
have
you
to
get
get
another
the
potion. Cash only the 3 costs, yeah.
yeah, you'd have to get the apothecary first, which isn't really something I want to do. I'm I just upgrade the potion to bandit camp.
Just upgrade the potion to ball for 2 more potions.
I don't think you can do that.
Not with that attitude.
You'd have to hack the client. Because ball is just a card shaped object, not a card.
Details, details. Yeah, sorry, Jack. I'm still kind of new. I'm learning the cards. Bear with me.
The thing is, ball is not a card, so I'm not teaching him the cards. Yeah.
All right, doubles has been great. Quite a learning experience for me.
Uh, yeah, doubles was a great tournament. Just well, with the exception of how long the matches took, but other than I liked it overall. Oh, and scheduling, I'd say that was a failure too.
I think we've only scheduled one match so far.
Yeah, we've finished all of our matches, um, and and of course our first opponent dropped out in part because of our play speed.
Unfortunately, I did not record my doubles match.
Yeah,
It's not easy. It's not simple to do. I normally have the OBS just record the browser, and then the doubles thing is happening like half inside Discord.
I think we decided not to play that game. And I'm willing to play it, but I don't think our partners want to. Yeah, I didn't record my doubles game mainly because the main reason I record games is to force myself to think through moves, but that's just not really necessary with doubles, and just more work than it's worth.
So I presume as terracubist we want to double here. I don't think Akuchi can triple. That's a good question, DZ. I don't know. Figure it out. So there's two spoils down there. I don't know what this bottom card is, but I'm guessing it's a spoils.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think so too.
so, so doubling
Um,
here should be kind of trivial.
yeah, is terracubist able to double province? Um,
So my guess is you play the the pawn for, let's see. So I believe that they've got how much money? So 6 in the discard. I think 9 if that bottom card is in fact a spoils. 12, 14, 16. So they need to play the pawn for coins buy, it seems. Right? Or card buy works as well. And then you just set aside as much as you can. I I presume you should set aside the church as well, Shanahan, or conversely set aside the gear with the church.
yeah, guess terracubist. I just want to find a way to double province.
I feel like double should be pretty safe here, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Aku can't triple. I don't even I don't think Aku can double, but I could be wrong.
The lack of four cost is annoying, but I don't think a big deal. So if terracubist goes up to 18 here, and then Aku doubles, he's only got to do province estate to beat that, right?
Yeah,
Which seems pretty simple.
yeah. I have complete confidence in terracubist's ability to um dou- double estate. Yeah, that is right. She has more buys than terracubist. Um,
Well,
yeah.
terracubist has three buys as well. He just used one of his pawns early this turn.
Oh, right. I didn't realize terracubist had a second. Um,
So versus province double duchy, you just double duchy back, and if they double province, you do province double duchy estate or something.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I haven't been fully tracking it. Honestly, don't know if Aku has the payload for province double. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't think Aku can triple province. Oh, that's pretty impressive, DZ.
It was Dan the one who skipped donate?
Yep.
Dan Brooks is the weak Goku 98 alt. Very different.
So the same account, Dan Brooks is weak. Goku's 96 is all.
Well, that's good to hear. I thoroughly endorse Element Mario skipping donate because I'm playing Element Mario in like an hour for the championships.
Nice. Maybe they'll skip donate for you.
We can hope. Yeah, maybe it's a bad thing. Maybe DZ taught Element Mario a thing or two. Now he's ready to go.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
that
I've been
does
learning
seem more likely,
intricacies of
Jackal.
church and gear via my close attentiveness to these matches.
Yeah, I mean, games have church here. Yeah, I mean, this has been a pretty long game. I mean, we're in the third game and it's already been an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, this is long. They're averaging what 34 minutes per game already.
Yeah,
This one's
that's
not.
almost as long as some doubles matches.
Mhm. So what is this bottom card? Let's find out. It's not a sauna. It's not an Avento. Not a province. I'm gonna guess it's a spoils, isn't it?
Yeah,
No, it's
that
not a.
seems like a
It's,
reasonable guess.
uh, oh, it is a spoils. They gained 3 spoils and they only drawn 2. Um, how did they mess it up? Maybe they're referring to the part where they gained 5 saunas. That's my hypothesis for what Akiuchi is referring to.
Ooh, yeah, so Ankuchi is turning the saunas into duchies. I think that's definitely a good move. So triple duchy. She, I mean now, um, don't know that
I'm
he's,
gonna guess triple duchy for terracubist now, and probably upgrade one of these threes into a potion if you can.
yeah, that seems good. Um,
So if you do triple duchy and they take 2 duchies back, well then you can probably win on 4 gears and an estate. Uh, and if they take any provinces, then you probably double in response. I think I'm
yeah.
looking to do three duchies here.
Ooh, yeah, if they could she can get 4 duchies, then you're a cubist, you don't want to allow that. So yeah, I think it's a triple duchy here. And then you can just pretty easily pile bandit camps, especially if you turn like a church into a potion.
I don't know if you have enough money for it, but I would love to turn a silver into potion if possible. Church is going to be so helpful now that you've got like a million green cards. Setting aside 3 green cards is so nice.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. Yeah, I feel like I worry about payload.
double province, double duchy. Let's see. Wait, can they do that much? I don't think that doesn't sound possible to me. Like I could believe Terracubus maybe gets to 21 and 3 buys. Oh, you mean for Akuchi doing double province and double duchy? I thought you meant Terracubus this turn. I have no idea what's possible for Akuchi's deck. Yeah, so is Akuchi, I think you just gotta hope for the 25% shot that your last sauna is in those top 3 cards and play the Avento. Because like if you died here, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be 21 coins plus upgrading the sauna. They might have that. Granted, Akuchi's deck is increasingly unreliable. Not even just this given hand. They've killed almost all their saunas, and the chance they get to do everything in their deck theoretically could do is very far from 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it looks reasonable to upgrade the church probably. Um, you can set aside all the stuff you really need to set aside here with just the gear.
Yeah. And I'm just focused on like you kind of have to turn the church into a potion, I think.
Interesting.
Any way to see oh, like player two? Unfortunately, no.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
true.
can't like reverse the board or anything. It'd be nice, but that's not possible.
Yeah, I
You
mean at least it's
only
only
see
a
player
two
one POV as a spectator.
yeah, at least it's only a two-player game, so you can at least see player two's hand.
Sure, are they even listening? I don't even know. Um, might not be in the chat. I was a little surprised by that set of buys and gains by terracubist. Maybe they probably gave it more thought than I did. So maybe there's a rationale to it. Um,
Yeah, I
all
mean
right,
I'm
so
sure
Zaki,
there
you, you, it seems that the only option I foresee in Akuchi's position is you play the Avento, and then if you don't find Sana, you resign.
yeah, I agree with that. Um I mean, is there any way Aku could win here? I don't think so. I mean you'd need five yeah, you need like yeah, I don't think so.
And the tricky part, of course, is even if you find the Sana, that means you've played your Sana now, and so your upgrade's not getting you a duchy or anything this turn either. So even if Akuchi finds the Sana, I don't know if they're in a great position, but certainly if you find the Sana, it's not resignable.
I agree with that.
Can Akuchid get a duchy this turn? And Prob double duchy estate next turn? Just a duchy this turn? Hmm. Well, I was about to say just duchy loses to double duchy, double or quadruple gear, or double duchy, double bandit camp. But terracubist doesn't actually gain a potion. I'm not sure they have that possibility. My guess is if you just do duchy, terracubist does like double province duchy.
Yeah, that seems fine. Um,
Well, Akuchid does believe in the single duchy. So now terracubist just does double province duchy, and where are your points coming from at that point, Sakuchi?
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, certainly not a win for Terracubist. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think if Terracubist can double duchy here, that's basically won. Um, yeah, Terracubist, they do have the upgrade, but not any four costs.
Yeah,
Um,
they had the opportunity to get a potion last turn, and then they passed up on it.
yeah, I think that was a mistake. I mean, if they hadn't done that, there would be a chance of a win here. Um, I'm not sure if they have 15 coins. Certainly not 18, which is what they need to win.
Well, I was thinking, can they get to 21? Let's see. So they got 3 spoils in the discard. I don't know what the last 4 cards are. If they can draw it all, they also have the opportunity to upgrade Avanto into gold, which adds a bunch of payload. So I get 4 spoils in the discard. Okay, so now I think we can count this. So we got 12 in the discard, 15 with the bandit camp, 17, 19 with the silvers. Yeah, this looks like a win, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, that would
oh,
win.
this is just triple province outright, isn't it? You upgrade Avanto into gold. You play the. Oh, maybe their action's short. No, they got it. So you upgrade the Avanto into gold. You play the. Maybe their draw is short actually.
Yeah, I mean, you have four. Well, and you can technically, if you have the actions, you can technically draw four cards, and yeah,
So
I
right
don't
now
think
there's
it.
4 cards to discard, and
Yeah,
5, 6.
I don't think any of those cards draw.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, upgrading the duchy into a gold I think works. That's a good idea. Okay, so forget the upgrade Avanto line. I think that was 1 card short of just triple provincing outright. I think if you upgrade the duchy into gold, you do just have full triple province. Um, so they got 4 spoils down there already, and then they could add a 5th spoils and a gold, which would bring them to 18, 22 with the silvers, and then if you play both pawns for coins and buy, that's 24 and 3 buys. And then that would require them to draw 6 additional treasures, which involves playing an upgrade, a bandit camp, an Avanto, and a single gear, which they can afford to do. Why don't you need to draw the gold? That's not enough for triple province. I mean, you could do double province duchy that way, and that's like also winning, but it doesn't like win this turn.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, 25 coins I think will be
All right,
enough.
let's see. We got some math data, so let's recount this. Maybe this does work. So, if you wait, are you that does not work. You only got 4 actions. You can't draw all of that, play the Avanto for draw, play both gears as sheep, and then play both pawns for coin buy.
Yeah.
If that does add up to 25, maybe you can play one pawn for action buy. Um,
It looks like they're going for the duchy into gold. So I'm guessing that means, yeah, that's enough to win. It'll do it.
Alrighty, so that's
Yes,
2-1
they
for
are high
Q.
ranked. It's actually the finals of a tournament.
I'm still not sure that person's listening. Are they in the voice? No, I don't see anyone with that name in the voice.
Present. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Um,
Who's just talking there?
all right, what do we got here? Oh look, Church and Gear again. So no actions is the big limitation here. Oh, that's actually kind of awkward, isn't it? Is Scrying Pool even worth getting? Maybe not. This is weird.
Yeah. I mean, lots of good draw here, but no villages. And so I mean, I guess you're doing your cleaning with church. What appears probably don't bother with contraband and just let it be a single game board. Um
I think you could seriously consider Gear big money.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean I think you want I'd go for church gear, get big money, but yeah, I think that seems like the best option.
Yeah, I would still play with Church in that. I mean, the upside of maybe trying to go for scrying pools is it lets you play displaces, and then you got colonies, which justifies building a little bit more. But I don't know. Like if you're playing with catapult, well then you're just gaining one thing per turn, right? Um, like I would think the appeal of building a little is being able to play with displace and theoretically like get double prop, not double prop, double colony at some point. Um, but it's slow to get going because scrying pool with like no cantrips or anything is just like actually kind of weak.
Yeah, I'm not huge on scrying pool. I think you just go search your big money and then eventually you replace you start using displaces. No, I don't think so. I think have a few displaces in your deck. So I don't even know if you bother with displace, honestly. Maybe you don't. Because yeah, I mean you need to go be because in order like if you have a hand of five and you need to have a hand of displace and two platinum and then another treasure. Um,
I'm gonna say no to fairy.
three,
Um,
yeah, I agree. No fairy. I mean, the ideal would be displace the platinums and then another treasure in every hand, but that's just not going to happen. Ooh, I guess something you could try is displace platinum every turn, and then you just buy a platinum. That requires less money and adds platinums to your deck.
Yes, this is match point for Terra. Is currently 2-1.
Yeah, so terracubist just needs to tie this game. Ikuchi needs to win.
Star chart looks reasonably good here. I'd be thinking about openings that involve that as well. Um, like maybe star chart gear buy a church turn 3, something like that. Okay, so Akachi is building with potion. We'll see if that works out. I hope terracubist doesn't go for scrying pool, so we can see a divergence in strategies.
Ah,
I don't know, money looks reasonable to me. You get kind of thin, you add like 2 platina. And then star chart kind of helps that as well.
yeah.
Uh, what's down there for terracubist? They got an estate and 3 coppers. Yeah, I think you buy church now. Um,
Yeah, buying church seems reasonable.
you top deck the church, you set aside 3 estates, then you buy probably a second church, maybe a second gear next turn.
Yeah, that seems fine.
I think it might be better to undo this and set aside a estate and a copper. I don't know that it makes much difference, but ooh, catapult, interesting. Not what I anticipated. Okay, so yeah, terracubist actually was punished here for setting aside 2 estates. Um, if they'd set aside, this is even more significant if you're buying the catapult. Is if they'd set aside estate copper, they still could have afforded the catapult, and they could have trashed a copper here and still hit 3. Now they're faced with either trash copper and do nothing, or trash estate, and then you hit 3, but you're not attacking your opponent. That was just a misplay.
Um, that's unlucky. I have this. But yeah, I think I agree. Like setting aside a copper estate would have been better. So I mean, the question is, I think at this point, terracubit's probably just going to go for the money. If you're gonna go for scrying pool, I probably would have already taken the potion. Um,
We'll find out momentarily. Like I feel like if you're getting potion, then probably like this turn is the last turn you might consider it. Um, Akuchi thinking hard here. I was guessing, yeah. I was about to say you set aside nothing with church. I mean that has the potential to backfire a little bit if your opponent catapults you, but it will in fact work out quite nicely here.
yeah, Um,
This match is not going to be finished, is it?
yeah, I mean, if you need to go, that's fine.
Yep. My match starts in like 50 minutes, so that'll probably get us at least 4 more turns of this game.
Yeah, I hopefully it's more, but I have a feeling it'll be otherwise.
I did say at the beginning I was rooting for Akuchi on account of picking gear, but now I think I've got to root for terracubist just because if he wins, that ends the match sooner.
Yeah, I have to say, like, um, yeah, I just want this. This has been a long match, and I kind of just want it to be over, though. As much as it would be nice to get more card champions play in, I think this has been. It's lasted over 2 hours now,
Are we buying
which
a
is
5 cost here? Gonna go for displace now, maybe?
yeah. I think this place seems reasonable. Um,
I, See, I was thinking we don't take displace yet, because isn't that last card a catapult that we want to play? Terracubus keeps doing this. They keep setting aside estates instead of coppers, even when they're not using the money, and that just seems like a mistake.
yeah, I agree with that.
Especially because, like, if you're getting catapulted a lot, you want the estates to be in your deck so you can discard them to the catapult, and the coppers to be set aside so they end up in your hand.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean this. I don't really like what. I guess it'll be fine. Maybe discarded church copper as terracubist. Um, yeah,
Hmm. I think I prefer Hakuchi's position. Not 100%, but it seems better to me.
yeah, I think that's probably right.
I guess Akuchi's got to start thinking about payload, like reflexively by scrying pool here, but then where's your deck going from there? Uh, so maybe you don't buy scrying pool and take like silver or something to get up to, I don't know, displace.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Are you like playing the improve and then just improving it again into a potion?
Yeah, I'm not
But the
sure I
trick
like
does have.
improve here.
Well, you can't improve the catapults
Yeah, that's
because there's
kind
no
of
way to
the
get rid of those.
problem. Like the only four cost action is smithy, and you just don't have the terminal space to support it.
Interesting that they trashed the potion. Um,
Yeah, I don't. Maybe you have enough scrying pools.
well, so separate from whether you want a bunch of more scrying pools, I was thinking the way you're getting up to colonies is you get that displaced next turn, then you turn the potion to a gold, and that becomes a province, and then a platinum, and you go from there.
Yeah, I mean that would work too.
Oh, fairy is also not a bad way to get displaced, I suppose. But if silver gets you there too, then it's just a question of would you rather have a free silver in your deck than not? Like silver then displace versus fairy then displace. Um, well, I don't think you need two displaces at any point. I think you just want the one.
I agree with that. I think silvers. You can temporarily make them displaces, and then turn one of the displaces into a gold, and then until your displaces collide, it's nice to have two of those. Yeah, I can see you doing that. But like if I'm gonna get rid of a silver, I think I'd rather just catapult it.
I would think this is displaced now. The gold's, I guess, reasonable as well. You get one more catapult play in, um, provided you're taking displaced next turn.
Yeah, for sure. So it's Aku. Yeah, I think you got Aku is just taking a while to click on copper. Um,
Yeah, I would trash a copper here. You can trash a second one with catapult and still afford displace. They're thinking hard about it. I don't think there's any scenario where they miss 5 here. Even trashing the copper.
yeah. Um,
Like what are those 4 cards? I think it's catapult, silver, gold, and scrying pool. Um, So let's see, with a perfect draw, they draw the silver, the gold, and a 1 copper.
Yeah.
Give them not enough, right? Well, I guess they could technically afford platinum if they catapulted the church. I mean, I wouldn't want to do that, but like, I think it is technically possible for them to have bought platinum that turn.
So with terracubist, you just kill the estate and take it to place. Oh wait, never mind. They already played here. Um, yeah,
Uh, I think I've come around on pools. Looking at how this game has gone, it seems like the pool deck is doing better. Um, at the start, I was pretty ambivalent on whether pool versus just gear money was better. But I think I'm moving on towards the pool side.
I mean, yeah, maybe pools are
And I
better.
think
I kind of
catapult is honestly a big reason for that. I think that's probably the thing I didn't factor in is it's slowing the game down a lot, which is giving pools time to pay off, and it makes the gear set aside less useful. You know, you don't have junk in your hand to store and miss shuffles.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I still think gear money is probably better, but I I could be wrong. Does it? Yeah, I mean,
It's looking pretty bad.
yeah, but I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, the pools do seem to be working better. Yeah, I mean, hopefully terracubist just realizes it. Um, want this match to end eventually. At this rate, it's going to just we'll be staying up all night commentating or something.
Yeah, we really needed terracubist to win this one.
Yeah,
Would you leave a copper out of church to buy another church? Doesn't Akuchi already have 2 churches? Or am I mistaken about that? Yeah, they got 2 of them. I don't think you need a third one.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, Eguchi has two churches. Still don't think you need a second church, really.
Are you likely to set aside more than 3 cards per turn? Maybe very late in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, the shrine pool just church just doesn't seem as important. So displacing the province to a platinum, I like it. I mean, Eikuchi doesn't have a deck any to draw.
I wonder if might it be better to? I think the platinum's probably fine. You displace the catapult now into like. This is like hmm. Maybe just don't play displace this turn. Maybe you like catapult the church and then buy back the golds, and now you've got 11 in deck.
Yeah. Um,
You can also catapult the silver, I suppose, get to the same place. All right, so we now have 0 money in our deck.
yeah, I don't think that's great.
I am confident that this is not the optimal line. I'm not confident what the optimal line is. But this can't be the ideal deck composition
I mean,
that Akachi is currently looking at.
you can go back and forth, like you can displace the colony into platinum, discard your platinum, and then you have and then you have um money
Yeah,
again.
something like that's the goal. I would like to get there while also buying things, and Akuchi has zero money for those purposes at the moment. I mean, it still looks very winning, I think, for Akuchi. But I think that there were some suboptimal plays there along the way. I presume as Akuchi, you top deck a platinum here because you got scrying pools coming in, so you want more actions in the discard.
Yeah,
Not that
I
it's like
agree with
no.
that. Yeah, and I mean,
I wish the log would tell you, as a spectator at least, what they chose to top deck with Star Chart, but it does not.
yeah, that would be nice.
This way doesn't give me the opportunity to be judgmental. I don't really understand how the cards are ordered in your hand, but I don't think it reflects the order that you drew them in.
Yeah, that might be something to ask Steph. Um, I'm curious about it too. Maybe it is. I don't know, but it's
There's some logic to the ordering of the cards in your hand. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's just some set order that the cards appear in.
yeah. I mean, that's like one of the advantages of like IRL Dominion. Like you know what order cards were drawn. Like, which I guess is you know you can control the order of the cards in your hand. Like so, online is still better overall.
I think yes to the golds.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of have to agree with you on that gold one. Yeah, so definitely top deck the platinum. Just place it into a colony. I mean, Iku is just so far ahead. But I'm pretty sure Aku has one coin down there, which means you can displace the colony into a platinum and still buy another colony. Um, which means that on your next turn, you'll be able to double colony.
Terracubist is getting somewhere. He's only behind 5 points. So that top card is Colony, I believe. No, their Colony is an exile map. What is that top card? Curse.
Curse. Yeah, I think you just draw it up, maybe. or not?
You can leave it there because it's already top decked for your church to trash.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, so now this is gonna be a yeah, I mean terracubist could just resign, not drag this game out any longer. Yeah, game has already lasted long enough.
Tough choice there for terracubist. I mean, uh, catapulting a silver looks super great, but it also comes at the cost of not buying colony, which I guess you just kind of have to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this just looks like a win in hand.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Hey,
Right, so it's 2-2, comes down to the last game.
dog was getting into the trash.
It's a good thing I didn't increase the match length for the finals. It's hard to think that
Yes.
how I considered doing that. Um, very glad that didn't happen.
Or scrying pool. So winner of this game wins. If they tie, does player two win?
If they tie, yes, player two wins the match.
Let's see, is game five random start?
No, it just continues alternating, which I guess is effectively the same as like as random.
Let's see.
I think, and if it's
I think I prefer re-randomizing it for like an odd numbered final game. Like effectively, like you just randomize it at the beginning instead of at the end. But it has the very marginal advantage of the players don't play the first 4 or 6 however many games knowing who's going to be player one in the final game.
yeah, that's fair. But anyway, even if like it was the rules, I wouldn't bother making them fix it. Um,
Anyways, this kingdom looks like pretty clear Horn of Plenty, Mega Turn. Uh, Not sure how important getting your page up the line is. I mean, I probably want champion at some point, but this is one of those kingdoms where I'm not just going to reflexively open with page.
yeah, I agree. I mean, Paige is good, and I'd like
It,
to have Paige here.
Maybe
But
something like double church, and then ideally you buy a page turn 2 and then a Denison turn, or buy a page turn 3 and a Denison turn 4.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
I'd probably open church page, but maybe that's wrong. That's my instincts.
yeah, certainly one of Margrave, probably eventually multiple. Actually, how certain is that? Um, Maybe Gears your terminal for a bit. I'm not sure how important it is to get Margrave actually. Maybe Denison is just better on 5 until you've got champion.
Yeah, sure.
Gear page. What do we think about gear page? Gear page, I don't like it very much, right? Like it's just really likely to make your page miss the shuffle, isn't it? I think between their two openings, I prefer church page. Ironically,
I
they
would,
open with their opponent's respective chosen cards.
yeah, I agree. Church page is better.
It's like gear page looks great if you find them both turn 3. Um, but I think any other configuration of those cards works out kind of awkwardly.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, I think I don't see a way. Church page is probably what I would go for by instinct here.
Ah, thank you. Let's see, I missed the last few turns.
Yeah,
Uh,
so um, question is, what do you set aside here? The Bakuchi. Um, since it's just, what do you want here? I'm not really sure.
oh, so Akuchi's page bottom decked, and terracubists naturally missed the shuffle. So neither is actually in a great spot as far as draws go. Um, I I think I'd be inclined to say set aside all 3 coppers, and then
Yeah, I mean, calling it a
2
dud.
more things.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking at first. I just thought maybe it was stupid, but like it's not.
And I think I've got a marginal preference for Akuchi's position. Not sure about that. And I'm presuming you buy Den of Sin here as terracubist. I guess I mean you could consider Piazza for a chance of resolving your terminal collision problem, um, but that's a little greedy. And then likewise set aside 3 by probably just Denison for Akuchi as well. I mean Horn of Plenty looks great, but I think you want the short term draw at the moment.
Yeah, I think you definitely want that. The short term. Yeah, I mean, once. Yeah, the den seems fine. I mean, once like you have champion down, maybe you go with Margrave. I mean, I guess once you have champion down, I would honestly spam Margrave Bank. Maybe it's wrong, but it's fine.
You might get a bank as a unique card, but I think Horn of Plenty will be the main payload.
True, yeah. Yeah, I think just one bank, yeah, that's probably enough. Um, but yeah, I do want to be getting provinces with horns by the end.
I assume you're setting aside just absolutely as much as you can here. So 3 coppers probably.
Yeah. Um,
Ooh, nice warrior hit there, killing a gear and a church.
yeah, that's like really unlucky for terracubist.
Yeah, it looks like Akuchi was paying attention to what their bottom 2 cards were. Setting aside the silver is better if you know you're going to draw 2 coppers.
Yeah. Um,
Nice way to get a horn. I don't know about that mark. I would have thought just one more Den of Sin here. Um,
I think Margaret is fine. I mean, you want it as a unique.
I think if I were to do warrior, it should trash only if you've got a champion in play. So rather than like counting the number of travelers, maybe you just count champion and then like it flips 2 if you got champion and none otherwise. Because I like the element of the page line encourages building to some degree because you can get champion online and then play 5 warriors and just like trash your opponent's whole deck. It's when you're getting up to champion and then one player like hits the other player's warrior and the other one doesn't. That's the terrible part of the card. Um, but yeah, warrior trashing warrior in particular is just like awful. Did Dallalex not like it when he made the card? I've heard him express negative opinions about it since, but that might be an opinion that arose later.
Yeah.
DZ probably knows the answer to that.
Yeah. And yes, easy as our dom bot for deck chat.
Top of deck trashing is just like my least favorite card effect of all of them. Interesting. The playtesters
Oh,
defended that. Yeah, playtesters are the worst. Never trust the playtesters. Um,
yeah. I'm
Terry,
kind of surprised that the playtesters defended that. Did it just never happen during playtesting? The playtesters proved it didn't happen, or did they just convince him that it was part of the game?
I don't know. Now I've kind of lost track. So both got our champions, though neither has it in play as of yet. Now I think it's just a question of like ramping up your Horn of Plenty count as quickly as possible without causing a dud. Um, I don't know what those bottom 5 are for Akuchi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to know. Um,
I've got the impression that Akuchi is ahead.
yeah, I agree. I think Akuchi is definitely. Yeah, I did like those gears from terracubist. I think
But wouldn't it be more noble if the warriors made peace with each other?
Iku now has 8 cards, which is great. So now you just need to spam horns until you
Yeah, I
get
was
a mega turn, I guess. So not sure how, or maybe you don't get.
I'd say Akuchi is in a pretty commanding position here.
Yeah, I think Akuchi can just keep will be able to win the horn split pretty easily.
It's also nice. He's already got a hero, which gains horns.
Yeah, that's
That wouldn't be
also
so
an.
bad if the warriors suicided themselves knight style. Um,
I'd
because
say
then
you
at
just.
least you're both set back.
I think triple horn here. But double horn Margrave, I don't like that double Margrave. Um,
I think I would have at least one draw card. Could be Denison, could be Margrave. Um, don't want to lose your tempo from unnecessary dud.
true, but I don't think you need a
Um,
second Margrave. I just go for more. So Akuchi does already have an advantage on horns. So I
yeah, it
think
all looks totally winning to me. I think at this point, gaining a bank off of hero, this might be the opportune time to do that if you're Akuchi. You've got a bunch of treasures still, and you got a bunch of plus buy that you're not fully making use of. And so bank might actually do more for you gain wise than Horn of Plenty at the moment. Yeah, this is the game for all the marbles. It's 2-2, and the first one to 2.5 wins. So it's the tie, player two wins, but otherwise, whoever wins this game wins the match.
yep, wins the tournament even.
It's 2-2 terracubist.
I mean, so I guess, I mean, know what that card is? I want to say it's no, I don't think it's copper.
What's winning next turn? Like 7 provinces? Oh, there's a lot of palace points available. You got what, 90 points in the treasure piles.
Yeah, but I don't think you're gonna get all of that in this next turn.
Yeah. Horn and bank are kind of awkward. Depending on how long you're building, though, for those non-greening turns, the horns do kind of synergize with the bank. Like for purposes of buying more horns, dens, margraves, and stuff. On those turns, the bank will give you a lot of money at least.
Sure.
Um, in any case, Cherokee is just lost.
Yeah, that is true. How many horns does Iku have in deck?
4.
Okay, so not. I mean, you can get one more with hero, and then that's. So yeah, so Iku doesn't quite have a win, but pretty close. Um,
Like I'm pretty sure they could do 6 provinces this turn if they want to. 7, not sure. If you can't do, I mean, if you could do 7, I might consider just taking 7 provinces. If you're only doing
I
6, I'd just build one more turn.
yeah,
Um,
I even if it's 7, I might just keep building, not destroy the deck. Like you'll be able to
I,
get a mega turn next turn regardless. It's not
I
like
suppose I was mistaken. Only 3 horns. I thought Terracubus just had the 1. Um, so a bank here would give you 10 money. And with 4, yeah, I think I would take a bank here. Um, then draw it, and then set aside 1 Margrave with Church.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
You buy some like two dins and two horns or something. Actually, you probably do like four dins and four horns if you wanted to, and then win next turn.
Yeah, because that's 20 money. And then you can use it, which will, yeah, you can empty horns this turn if you want to.
I'm gonna go on a few minutes early. Need to take my dog for a walk before my match.
Okay, sounds good.
And it looks like this one's on lock. So congratulations to Akuchi. Double congratulations to terracubist if you somehow managed to win this.
Yeah, well, thanks
So you have
for
one in
joining me.
later, or later might be 13 minutes if you show up to my match.
Yeah, yeah, so yeah, so I kind of favor the spamming horns and binks this. Got a few are great, but not quite winning. Definitely want to empty horn. And if you empty horn, you can just take some Margrave's dens. So they set aside some Margrave and two copper set aside. Good. Um, oh, I think you take four horns, orange person. This could, yeah, I think I still want two more horns here. The den was definitely good, but you can go a bit further when it comes to being not like, I guess you don't actually need them, but yeah, maybe you just go for more dens to guarantee um definitely their horn or den. Oh, in their deck. Okay. I'm probably slow reading chat. Yeah, this is no way. This is going. Yeah, so taking some. I mean, archivists to know that this won't like them. It doesn't actually matter. Who's just gonna win is really it. That's a win in hand for Iku. Um, I got kicked out of the client, but that was timing. So congrats to Ikuchi on winning the card championship.